here, Michael. You got a reputation on the line.
I was just kind of joking, Parker.
Nope, too bad.
I was cutting you off just to cut you off and make a joke. Hey, look at that. I was right.
Damn it.
See, now I win in every different way. Except I'm an jerk face. Glaz also going to be banned out, so it's going to be two of the most annoying operators to play against. Just gone. Why? Probably because, you know, makes it more fun to play. Next band going to be, let's see, drum roll, please. Oh, look at that, a Jaeger. So that's quite interesting. So two of the operators that would benefit most from a Jaeger being banned are gone. That's Glaz and Ying. I think, actually, if we're going to measure it, I'd say, yeah, those are the two most... Yeah, indisputably, those are the ones that would benefit most from a Jaeger ban. I think. I'm racking my brain here, and I'm not really seeing anybody else who's popping straight into mind. Obviously, it's going to help you with smokes and grenades as well, so that's fantastic, not having the Jaeger in play. Valkyrie also going to be banned out. Valkyrie, one of the most versatile operators out there. Also, really worth noting, actually. Latin America has a thing. So you know how everyone always says the Ash Jaeger main? And we have a lot of those. For example, like, you know, in Europe and North America. In Latin America, it's the Ash Valkyrie main.
It's true.
Almost all of the players in Latin America who play Ashe, their second operator is Valkyrie. So, yeah, it's a good ban in general.
Latin America is actually a really fascinating region in the fact that a lot of the fraggers on attack play anchors and support ops on defense, and they sub out, right? Like, think about Julio, for example. When you used to have Nip run him on the support entry, they'd put him on a blitz, they'd put him on, you know, any real role in where he'd come in a sledge, for example, if they needed him in that capacity. He could come in and he could clean up in terms of kills. But then on defense, you'd see him on Echo, for example, in this round. You'd see him on Mira as well. Lots of opportunity for the fraggers to be able to do that. Same with Nesk. You put Nesk on Ashe, and then he turns around and he plays Smoke on defense. It's fascinating. It's something that happens in a number of Latin American teams.
We got 4 ACOGs on Ninjas in Pyjamas. That's a lot.
In doubt, cog it out.
Did you just... I feel like you've said that before. I feel like you're trying to make that a thing, Parker. Are you trying to make that a thing?
I'm not gonna think.
5 seconds left.
All right. Good luck. Ninjas in Pyjamas having just one operator not bringing an ACOG. Quite interesting. Assuming they're all actually using those ACOGs. They aren't. It's not a foregone conclusion, that's for sure. Team Liquid, on the other hand, they have brought a blitz. Look at that. It's going to be on the hands of Sexy Cake. Sexy Cake has been having an abysmal season so far. Towards the bottom of the field across the board in terms of stats for Liquid, and it makes sense that they're going to be putting him on more of a support-esque role. I mean, Blitz could definitely frag, but yeah, put him on something where he's definitely going to be useful in that smoke and potentially rush factor.
This is one of the smoke grenades as well. Burned really early on. I don't exactly know what was going on with Wog, but say goodbye. Gohan just sledges his way in and gets the opening frag on the other side of the map. I think Sexy Cake is well aware that there is a yokai drone positioned just through that main door. But if he runs on in and tries to take it out as he lowers his shield, could possibly get shot from above.
You've got both the yokais and the evil eyes because Maestro and Echo were not banned. I understand Jaeger and Valkyrie, two very powerful bans, but that's... I don't know if that's better than getting rid of those default bans in the two indirect denial and information gathering operators that are Echo and Maestro. Especially Echo. It's odd to see Echo in play. He can be so powerful, especially when you come down to the latter half of a round where we are entering right now.
Yep. All right. At what point you should actually check to see how many Twitter followers you got at some point out of that.
Do I have to?
We'll do it during the break.
Am I gonna lose $50, Parker?
Hell yeah.
He's gonna take it.
I'm coming for your money. Still trying to figure out exactly what to do with this yokai drone, as nobody from Liquid has an answer at all. It sounds like Sexy Cake is trying to take care of it, but Palu is in the middle of the site. He's just in, and he's going to be able to clean up on Julio, but he gets traded out as Nip recovers very well, anticipating this blitz coming on in. You see the Maestro of Psycho above, but everybody's getting gunned down. These ACOGs working so effectively, and Pino, hello.
Was that 4?
He's got the number for almost every single member of Team Liquid.
That was a very impressive round from Pino. I know it was at least 3, probably 4 looked like there for him, and Jeez, just tearing it up. I talked about it in the pre-match, actually. Pino, I'm pretty sure, has the best stats in all of LATAM. I'm pretty sure he's like
I think he's the highest rating.
Yeah, he has the highest rating.
He's the highest
KDs.
GG rating, yeah.
Just across the board, he is way up there in terms of players. And he's the newest addition to that roster, right? So, yeah, man, he's been having a season and a half. We're already halfway through. Parker, we're halfway through. This is the halfway mark.
That is accurate.
And we have been playing for about a month.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
That is...
I mean, to be fair, we've done 21 broadcasts in like 26 days or something along
this has been... so in the past we had 3-month seasons, and our season's going to be longer than that overall, but this first half was just the one.
It has been a sprint, not a marathon, for all of these teams.
I think that's, yeah, it's definitely something people have talked about, how it's like it's going to affect the teams, but it affects all the teams equally. So, yeah, it's an interesting one, that's for sure. You know what? You were talking about this earlier, Parker. Remember when you brought up how a lot more teams have been, or a lot of players have been getting aces? Like a lot.
A lot.
A disproportionate.
There have been a lot of aces so far.
Yeah, a disproportionate amount of aces compared to usual. And yeah, that could be why. You know, you're going to catch some people with their pants down because they're just not as zoomed in and focused as they usually are. And when you have in your moment, you're having your moment. So I guess it's actually honestly made things really interesting. Psycho also one of the better players across the region for LATAM. Some of the best stats out overall. I think like in the top 3, top 4 in terms of rating. Gonna be going for a spawn peek, but he couldn't find it. And he'll retreat back in.
Not really all that surprised actually at the teams going for spawn peeks and getting as aggressive as they are. Like I said, I expected this to be a very heated, frag-heavy matchup.
Expected? Past tense? Is it over?
Well, no. I mean, that was my expectation heading into this. I mean,
Okay,
the expectations can change, right? They're not static.
So they have changed?
They haven't changed.
Okay.
But that first round in particular was just a bit more hesitation from Liquid than I would have liked to have seen. It didn't really play into their signature style of rush in, take control, and then fight everybody. And really, it was... The struggle was at the delivery doorway because there was 2 yokai drones situated over by the door.
Yeah.
They had the Maestro playing through a kill hole, looking down on that entrance as well. And then all of these ACOGs, 3 of them now for Ninjas in Pyjamas. They've dropped 1 in favor of the Legion. It's just, it's very interesting. And I don't know if Liquid is going to be able to recover well enough because this is the 2nd round in a row where Team Liquid has been slow to advance.
You know what I'm noticing here, Parker? Team Liquid are setting themselves up for a smoke strategy, but who banned Glaz? Oh, hey, look, Team Liquid. They've got that double set of smoke, and I mean, it's going to be useful, that's for sure, but it's actually going to work against them because who isn't banned on defense? Maestro. So, Team Liquid have essentially shot themselves in the foot on this attacking half in terms of the operator ban, unless they show us something that they've got up their sleeves that will play into these bans. They are going to get the first 2 picks, though, off pure fragging power. No utility needed, as that Ness gets 1, but is refragged by Psycho, who's pushing his way to the blue stairs, or the cool vibe stairs, as it's often referred to as. It's Pyjamas, though, still in a decent position despite losing those 2 men, and because they took out Nesk, be much, much better. Psycho getting maybe a little too aggressive is going to give away his life to Lucifer, and that's a really good frag there, just waiting for that push from Psycho. The rush from Sexy Cake is actually going to not work out. Julio is blind, but he has downed the blitz, and he's obviously aware of that because he's not dead. A little bit of a missed shot there from Julio, actually. Unfortunate. He could have potentially denied the plant using the yokai drone that is above the planted diffuser, but it wasn't going to happen. Lucifer will get yet another kill, leaving just Julio. Excellent shot there onto Lucifer. Very clean. He's looking for some more. He has been landing his shots so far, but from behind, going to eat a little bit of damage there from Gohan. He knows he's in a 1 versus 1, though. Against Zig, he will lose it, and Team Liquid take the round.
That SMG-12's recoil is still extremely high, but it shreds targets at close range, especially if you can tap through it. Look, there's some decent recoil management as well, despite how unwieldy it can be for Zig to be able to get that one. The double bar is typically a really good defender-sided sight. Does not go that way for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Big credit to Liquid, bringing one of the most annoying lineups possible, given that Lion Ying and Glaz are not playable. You're going to bring a Montaigne, possibly even a Blitz if need be. You've got a Dokkaebi. You've got 2 of the best guns on attack in terms of Nesk's R4C and Palu's F2.
I mean...
Very frustrating to play against, I would imagine. And look at that. It'll be third time's a charm for the Blitz.
It really was.
Will come off of the Monte.
It really was Lucifer just doing a whole lot of work in terms of frags. And that is all it comes down to. Nesk also would manage to get 1 kill for himself on the initial entry, but no. Twitch put that together, covered the flanks, got the entries, held for the rotates. Great job to Lucifer, if you want to pronounce him by his name. Now, Ninja's Pyjamas.
I can't get over how clever that name is.
Lucifer?
Lucifer.
Didn't we have another one that he went by that was even more clever once?
No idea, but I think that Lucifer is.
Yeah, it's clever. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Anyway.
10 seconds remaining.
Parker, look at where we are.
5 seconds to insert.
Penthouse Theater.
The prodigal son has returned.
We see it so infrequently now. It's almost a pleasure to be able to see it.
Yeah, I mean, almost. And remember that, Parker, remember that tactic we talked about G2 using on this site and it not working at all?
No, would you look at that. Keep in mind that the changes to Clash have not gone live yet. I think they're supposed to go live after these playdays are all finished.
They're buffing her, right?
They will be buffing her. So, number one, the couple changes for those of you that have been out of the loop. These changes have been tested on the TS, the test server that's available on PC to everybody who owns a copy of this game. Essentially, what it is they've changed her pistol, or her SMG, the machine pistol, from a 2-burst to fully automatic. They've also increased the amount of ammo it has. I think it's from like 130 to 1 to 161. They've increased the damage from 30 to 33. The damage is not that big of an issue, but the fact that it's fully auto has more of a spray pattern.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make the big difference. Liquid wasting no time whatsoever trying to get in towards the site. Number of smoke grenades will go down, and amidst the chaos and confusion, Nip look to hold on. They'll start things off with a very early kill on the Sexy Cake, and Zig almost suffering a mortal blow as well. He holds on to that diffuser. Julio repositions a Yokai drone, but its position looks like it might be given away here. But no, he manages to come back and finally gets shot out. Unlucky timing for Julio. But he's still able to spot all the different members of Team Liquid, which is going to enable Psycho to push on up. That Clash has very limited counters if you look at what Liquid has available. Zig will get reset. Plenty of time to do that. And outside of a breaching round placed behind the Clash or a frag grenade, well, there's not going to be much to stop the Clash. Kamikaze cuts Gohan off of the wire, and all of Liquid over towards the back of Theater. This Clash will be able to slow down their advance. As the phone calls will ring away, Clash will not be able to stop it, but the other members of NIP possibly in position to greet these two, and that's exactly what Julio will do, playing through the wall. He'll take off Nesk in a 2v5, and Liquid looks hard-pressed to win.
Could be another one down there and finished off by Julio. Psycho goes for the spray, and he will land it. An easy round for Ninjas in Pyjamas. What did Liquid do in that round? Well, they rushed their way up the main stairs, and they all died.
End analysis.
So, I mean, I kind of like the idea behind the strategy from Liquid because it was centered off their blitz, which has worked for them in the past. But because he died so early on in the middle of throwing his smokes, it was just a no-go. That, by the way, was why they banned the Jaeger. So they could do strategies like that. So they could throw smokes to cut off line of sight and use that cut in half line of sight to rush their way into certain avenues. It worked out for them when they went to the double bar on that attack. The smokes were really working in their favor, but it did not work out for them there. So, unfortunate for Liquid. Good job by Ninjas and Pyjamas. They're landing their shots when it's oh so necessary, and that's really the story here for them.
Julio was a major factor in that round, especially when working with the Clash, using the ACOG over by the couch that was inside of Theater to be able to just shoot through the soft wall. A lot of teams would barricade and reinforce that off, not NIP, and that was obviously a deliberate tactic. I don't know if NIP had the info on Liquid and knew that they like to go for a Theater take, because Theater takes are really not that common when you think about it. A lot of times teams will go through VIP, they'll go through the wall, they'll drop down through bathroom, they'll try to control the big window, which is where the Buck was playing. But I don't think Gohan was expecting the Legion of Kamikaze to be as aggressive as he was.
Yeah, I'm sure as soon as that that Blitz and Sexy Cake went down, Liquid just went heck and heck, man. We just lost all of our strategy, and the problem is that they, and a set of smokes. They had another one, but because they lost the shield, it was just their whole heckin' strategy out the window, and they had to go for a different attack strategy. But
I need you to watch your language, by the way. You said it. It's a family broadcast.
You're right, Parker.
Don't say swears.
All right, Captain America.
Oh.
So, anyway.
Back down to kitchen.
No, but
What do you want to focus on?
Liquid didn't adjust their strategy, and that was what I was trying to get at.
They all attacked from the same area.
And as soon as they lost their most important part of their attack, they just kept to it, and it really didn't work out. They have to be able to adjust on the fly.
Well, at that point, where do you go, right? Because
you go back downstairs. You still have full control of the main lobby. You adjust. You try to attack from somewhere else.
But did they know they had full control of the lobby? Because if they were all off drones, it didn't look like there was anybody who was doing any of that information gathering for them.
I think that's beside the point, Parker, because as soon as you're pushing into that hallway, you're effectively zoned when the attacker, or the defenders know you're doing that and have already taken out, again, the spearhead of your attack.
The only info that Liquid had on Nip, in my opinion, in that round, was on Julio and was on the Clash. They didn't know where the other 3 members were, and you are in a position where you can possibly get pounced upon. Oh, Nest walks in and picks up 2, though. Pino and Kamikaze are there, and Nest coming so close to taking down Psycho, but Nip will at least find their footing, shutting down the star player of not just Team Liquid, but one of the best as well in Latin America. Everything falling to pieces, though, as Psycho gets gunned down, rewarded for his kill, as Palu will be there to trade him off. It takes a while, but Ninjas in Pyjamas find themselves in pretty rough shape. Lots of time for Liquid to work with. Only one member of Ninjas in Pyjamas will receive that phone call, as the Echo is immune to it. Julio lighting up the feet of Sexy Cake, but the MP5 suppressed does so minimal damage at that range. Great rotate from Wog on the stairs to take out Sexy Cake. Grenade sails on in, Julio gets pinched, Gohan doing all the work in the world, with Wog now having to come back towards the site, with 3 members of Liquid likely locking him out. Opening in the wall here will give Wog a little bit of coverage, but the SMG-11 is not going to do much at that range, and Palu, holding on to the F2 with the ACOG, will be able to finish off Nip's remaining member and give Liquid another round. Both of these teams destined to go back and forth, as through 4 rounds they are both tied at 2.
A lot of off-site play there for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Not working out great for them. I think the most notable thing for me, though, is that Liquid was really landing their shots. And they haven't been doing that throughout this match so far. They managed to win that one attack onto the double bar thanks to some well-placed smokes and Sexy Cake's good distraction using the blitz, allowing for a plant. And then in the post, they just had full control of default spot. In that round, I mean, it was just carnage. And it all started with that double piece that Nesk managed to pick up by the main stairs. After that was a man count in favor of Team Liquid. It never went back in Nip's favor. And why? Because not only did Nesk get those 2 kills, but he did a lot of damage to Psycho before dying to him. And that allowed for Paul Lucifer to get the refrag. Once that refrag was secured, it was pretty much, well, Liquid's round, through and through. All they need to do is attack onto the site, which they managed to make work. WAG did not have time to rotate back. Great job to Liquid, seizing the opportunity that was presented there by Ninjas in Pyjamas, thanks to too much off-site play. You got to really attribute it also to the aggression from Liquid. They did not relent. And they went for that attack quite early on. Now, back to the double bar. Last time we were here, Ninjas in Pyjamas lost this hold. In fact, it was the first round that Liquid managed to take.
Funny, because the very first round that Nip won on Kitchen downstairs was played so differently from Liquid, right? You had the attack coming over on the service side of things, Liquid stalled out really hard, and they changed it up completely for their second attack on Kitchen. And in fact, they worked really hard on the second floor clear. It worked very well.
Default cam.
Psycho obviously watching this default cam for something, as Pino is...
He's all right, guys.
Pulsating above.
He's okay.
A number of members of NIP have lost a little bit of HP, and you see Liquid, Sexy Cake obviously realizing that the blitz has not been as effective, so you'll bring a second set of frag grenades to pair with Gohans on the buck, as the Fenko will come out for Liquid. Obviously, you use those logic bombs, you pin down NIP, you activate the Adrenal Surge, and you can run right in and do so much damage. Zero recoil on the F2 and the R4C, as well as that C8. That's a scary prospect to find yourself in. So can Nip hold off Liquid? What appears to be a take heading on over towards the blue bar. Psycho runs out, he takes out Palu. Detected, but he'll be able to get back safely as there's minimal opportunity for bullet pen kills off Liquid's side. But that'll calm down the F2, and one of the most hyperactive players on Liquid will take a seat for the remainder of this round.
Zig's gonna get the first kill for his team though. Good refrag there on the Kamikaze. Legion going down, it's gonna be less traps to deal with. You come for the actual site push. Ninjas and Pyjamas is pretty far field from the actual site. There's nobody holding on to default spot just by the couch there. There should be, of course, Yokai drones and Evil Eyes, but oh no, another run out from Psycho. He gets downed by the nade post-mortem from Sexy Cake, but the damage is done. Julio actually might be able to retrieve this player, and it would be incredible if he does just that. It's going to be the Doc of Pino, though, to pick his teammate up. All the while, Liquid is planting the diffuser for the second time on double bar. An excellent distraction from Team Liquid, allowing for a plant. And they're playing this perfectly in the post. Next is going to be inside of Kitchen, but his position given away. He will land the headshot onto Wag, despite that. Dies to Julia, though. The refrag from Nip is in. Zig in the perfect post-plant position. Gohan waiting for a run out. It's going to be a lot of teamwork between these two players if they want to secure this round. Ninjas and Pyjamas could still potentially win this. A nice spray from Julio, not enough to get the kill, but the down is there. Gohan now the last one alive for Team Liquid, but he has the diffuser in a great position to hold. It's being watched on the window. Oh no, it's not! Psycho looks the wrong way, and the skeleton key from Gohan! Team Liquid take it! Some abysmal coordination from Ninjas in Pyjamas, allowing for that win in the post-plant.
I don't think they knew that they managed to down Zig, and they had no idea where the buck was. I would imagine that if they don't know that they got the down on Zig, they must have assumed that Gohan was rotating over, trying to pick Zig up, and maybe cover from that angle. But that is as shrewd a play as you can have with the skeleton key. Pick off the Maestro, you can get off the plant at that time, but with how quickly Gohan moved to get inside of the foyer, looking into Sunrise, unlikely that your comms are fast enough to relay that information. I admire the fact that Liquid have not been really using the stick pick at all. They've just been rolling with the same lineup time and time again, and boy, like you mentioned, that Jaeger band proving to be very smart. All things considered, Ninjas and Pyjamas have been keeping it close. And if Nip can emerge from this first half tied 3 on Coastline, I think that's a victory for the defenders here. Especially given the lineup that Liquid has been running.
Hey, look, it's a clash again. Worked out great for Ninjas and Pyjamas last time. Though honestly, it was the attack strategy from Liquid that really was their demise when attacking onto Penthouse. You don't have noticed, Parker, we haven't had a hard breacher yet.
It's Coastline.
I mean, it's Coastline, yeah, but there have been some circumstances where Liquid could be aided well by a hard breacher. For example, Penthouse is the most hard breacher-centric site on the map, in my mind at least. I mean, you've got the VIP wall. You've also got the projector wall by the main stairs. Just in general, having a Thermite or Habana here, very, very useful, but not being brought by Team Liquid. I understand it. Again, it's Coastline, like you said, but some potential lost there, especially, again, Penthouse.
A lot of teams, even when you do bring a hard breacher, will typically have a Hibana, and that's just because Hibana does enable you to have a little bit more fragging potential. Oh no, Pino does not check from behind. He hit the clash not too far off. Easy entry for Palu. Guns one down, takes the Doc out of the fight, and one of the two ACOGs from Nip off the board. And Nip are now scrambling because they know that Palu is playing over by Hookah's side. Look at this rotate from Nip. A Yokai drone has been reestablished in that area. You also have Wog moving on over. Kamikaze is below to possibly try and keep hold of Cool Vibe stairs. So Liquid, if they drone this out, they know that they'll have 2 members of Nip not too far away, and it'll be a great opportunity. But this Gohan repel on that big window has not been successful at all on any of these Penthouse attacks, and he'll get cut down by Julio once again, proving that that Echo is so strong on this site.
I was going to say, you know, statistically one of the best players on not only Ninjas and Pyjamas, but entirely LATAM, and Psycho relegated to the Shield. Where's the fragging power for Ninjas and Pyjamas? But I just remembered, as Julio displayed to us, he has been fragging out this match. Able to land that shot onto Gohan. That's going to be huge for his team, and still such a pivotal player. He's playing very aggressively over by the bathroom, though. Position kind of exposed. Potentially could work against him. Unreinforced wall here. Because of that, the Ash was able to capitalize. Nesk Great utility use there. It's going to put his team in a tricky spot. And by his, I mean Ninjas in Pyjamas. Wag is doing his best to hold on to A, but he's got the phone calls ringing out constantly. That looks to have been the second one. Wag is going to miss it. Narrow shot on a Nesk, but Nesk won't miss his, and on full HP, he's going to have full control of Projector, and because of that, able to take down Julio. Psycho whips out the SMG pistol, but the nade from Sexy will shut him down. Kamikaze, the last defender, but he can't make it happen. What a round from Nesk, and what a round from Liquid to take it.
Michael, when is your rap album dropping?
I don't... What are you talking about?
You went full rap god on that one? Just as Liquid were able to spit some hot fire all over Ninjas in Pyjamas in that particular round. And that's more like what we're used to seeing from Liquid. G2 gave a lot of praise to Liquid, saying that, well, they've been bringing an awful lot of stuff that we're not used to seeing. Coastline was one of the matches that they played on when that statement was made. No surprise here. Liquid using what they've learned to great effect. You touched on the fact that we don't have any hard breachers, and as we change sides, going in towards the attack from Ninjas in Pyjamas, Julio will lock in the Hibana. So finally, a hard breacher on the board.
That's an excellent prediction there from Ninjas in Pyjamas. Or at least I think it is. Liquid were going to go to double bar, but they last minute changed to Penthouse. And Penthouse, again, one of those sites that is more hard breacher centric. If you have one, it makes attacking the site much easier. So good job to Ninjas in Pyjamas. They will have that utility at their disposal. Why is Penthouse suddenly making a resurgence for these teams? I mean, it's working out fairly well.
Mira's not banned. That could be a big reason behind it.
It's got a 50% win rate in this match. Mira's not banned, like you said, but we weren't seeing Mira from NIP. They weren't bringing Mira, which is weird. I mean, as far as I can recall, I'm pretty sure they weren't. But yeah, they were playing mostly offsite. They were trying to keep their opponents at arm's length so they didn't need to get to the site battle. And whenever it would come to that site battle, I mean, it was a little bit more difficult. That last round, a big reason that Liquid was able to win was because of Nesk. What was that? What did he... Oh, it was a drone. For a second there, I thought it was a Valkyrie cam. I'm like, oh, there's no Valkyrie. But
he doesn't need it.
He doesn't need it.
He doesn't need that Valkyrie cam.
Valkyrie's banned out, though.
There's no Valkyrie on the board. She can't even be played.
Yep. No,
doesn't need the black eye at all.
It was a drone.
No.
So, Ninjas in Pyjamas is going to be joining out from below. They are going to use the skeleton key from this buck to try and gain an advantage. This is why Mira is, while yes, useful, also very vulnerable, and if the Mira windows are broken, it leaves you at a disadvantage. There are two great pieces of utility on Ninjas in Pyjamas to deal with the Mira window. Again, the skeleton key from below, as I just mentioned. And look at this, Psycho's Twitch drone. If it goes to the right location, though, and that's also going to require some negligence on the side of Team Liquid.
Man, Pino is just bobbing up and down to the beat of his own music. Look at that. Doing a pretty significant core workout.
You know what, Parker? You know, we were talking about how Pino has some of the best stats in all of LATAM? That must be why.
Yeah.
He's just really good at that.
Yes.
No, I am actually straight up kidding. He's just a really excellent player. He's been landing his shots throughout the season, and is landing some more here. As you can see, great use of the skeleton key to do a little bit of damage to Sexy.
He flushes out Sexy Cake, and now the smoke will have to move on over. Now keep in mind that all the pressure that has been applied from this buck of Pino has not been towards the mirror windows that are set up on the theater walls. That's typically where you will see a buck go first and foremost. So there's obviously a reason behind that. You're underneath the kitchen, you walk on into the bathroom, you can possibly open things up, but your priority is going to be to flush out anybody playing over by this wall. It's going to be a big hindrance here for Sexy Cake. The lack of thermite will mean that the wall being opened up will be significantly smaller. But Sexy Cake under siege inside of Master. All XKROS will be used at this point by Julio, as Sexy Cake has to fall off. Nib have taken some bruising, Kamikaze and Pino losing some health in that encounter. So ultimately, there is an advantage just in terms of pure HP from Liquid. But they do have some control from the Master side. Sexy Cake's gonna wander on in, SMG-11 out, shotgun out, Sexy Cake takes down one, getting peeked around the corner, cannot land everything onto Julio. That shotgun blast just go a little bit off. Julio will manage to find a kill despite being very low himself. Final logic bomb here for Michael. 30 seconds to go.
From Michael. Julio on low HP. Pino gonna get a kill onto Paul Lucifer. The Yokai drone right above the Dokubi, unaware, and with so little time, it's gonna be even more important, but Zig is not gonna be able to keep it alive. Great job to take out that utility, and WAG will get the plant because of it. There is nothing from Team Liquid to stop this plant now. and Ninjas of Pyjamas are in full control. Zig is going to be crucial in this retake from the main lobby, or main hallway, pardon. Trying to find the frag, but Wag is in a great position to deny this rotation, and Pino's actually calling out his location. The marks come out even. All Wag needs to do is time his pre-fire right, and Julio's going to back him up, leaving just Nesk after Gohan is taken out. Psycho with a double kill there, and Liquid are cleaned up. Ninjas of Pyjamas get themselves back in this. We go 3-4.
The audacity of Julio to steal that kill away from Wag. How dare he? But ultimately, it doesn't matter as long as the team gets the frag. And I don't think there will be any animosity between them. Ultimately, Nip wander on in. It's only our third diffuser planned so far between these two teams, and only our fourth of the day. Really speaking to the Immortals and FaZe matchup, because it's just, oh man, and that was an interesting matchup for the attackers. Super defender favored. This one, the attackers, well, they've won 5 out of the 7 rounds that we've seen so far. Everything going according to plan on Coastline, back to the old norm, or the...
In every way, too. We're going to Penthouse a lot.
We are indeed.
We're taking a step 2 seasons back, but it's really just 2 seasons forward from that moment, because, again, completely cyclical, and that's the story of Siege. In terms of meta on maps, meta with operators, meta on sites, meta in general, just goes round and round. Now.
Yes, the double bars.
Huh?
You said now.
No, I was going to say, I was going to talk on the scoreboard, I think, is what I was going to say something about, but then I just kind of just...
10 seconds to go.
It's like, why?
For everything, happens this whole time.
No, I knew what it was saying. I just like debated whether I wanted to say it or not. I was just like, is it necessary? And this, okay, I was going to say
what they want.
the scoreboard. Wag hasn't really been doing very much this match. He's going to be playing Blackbeard now to try and compensate for that fact. Makes sense. A little bit more frag potential. Harder to lose a gunfight, but it's only so much, really. And if you're just straight up losing your fights, it might not help enough.
Wag is such an interesting character, just the way that his stats go on Ninjas in Pyjamas, because some days they'll have him where he absolutely frags out on a different operator, and then other days they'll put him on support and he really won't have much of an impact on that scoreboard at all.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the way that Nip plays him. It's, yeah, it's something to... Did you just mock my sigh?
No, I didn't do that.
You absolutely did.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, running the Blackbeard will definitely give him some more raw power and some more fragging potential. And Wag actually entered the day at not the greatest of stats, towards the bottom in terms of rating.
Bottom 10.
The bottom 10.
Yeah. So, not in a great spot.
It's the role that they have him on, though, to be fair.
By the way, thank you, Siege GG.
Yes. For the stats available.
Yeah, and that's going to take out Wag. So, the stats getting a little bit worse.
Yeah, the Blackbeard not really effective in that.
No.
In that instance.
Yeah. Paul Lucifer playing by the Aquarium bar, and he's just doing his best to hold on to Aquarium, obviously, given his position that would be kind of obvious. Kamikaze, outside. Just lingering. Ninjas of Pyjamas having a very slow round overall, and because they haven't been able to take control of top floor or the south lobby or anything, they are, you know, debating their options internally within the team, you know, just kind of waiting to find out what they want to do with this round. Admirable that Ninjas of Pyjamas are not going to get ahead of themselves, but also worrisome if you're a Nip fan that they aren't going for much at all.
Liquid is one of those teams where if you get ahead of yourselves, they'll punish you. They'll punish you really hard for it. Whether it's Palu, whether it's Gohan, whether it's Nesk, sometimes you'll see Sexy Cake and Zig be in positions to be able to capitalize too. That just speaks to the ability for Liquid to control the pace of the game. So far, they've managed to take out 2 very important frags, finding them on both Wag as well as Pino. Mentioned that Wag was on the lower end of the scale in Latin America, but Pino obviously at the top. It's a little bit of both for Nip, as they'll lose 2 bodies, their only set of frag grenades, and lots of destructive capability. This will also give Liquid only 30 seconds to just simply wait. And Gohan with the ACOG in the hands of the doc, watching the foyer inside a Sunrise bar. Balu's going to find a second kill onto Psycho, and there you go, a 3rd for the Legion. He jumps around the corner, a beautiful 4K, as Julio's march onward was halted ever so slightly by the goo mine. And Palu had all the information at his disposal, showing just how incredibly powerful a Legion can be when he's patrolling an area and has his mines set up so we can capitalize off of that information being given when one of them gets triggered. Team Liquid, 5-3, heading into round number 9.
You know, honestly, at the beginning of this match, it looked like Ninjas and Pyjamas were the ones who were going to be asserting dominance when we got into the mid-match, but it's been Team Liquid really stepping their game up, doing an excellent job of landing those shots. For a while there, it looked like Ninjas and Pyjamas were just indomitable. Specifically, of course, I mean, I'm talking about Julio, who's just on fire on defense. But here, when transitioning to attack, Nip has struggled. I mean, sure,
protect your bombs from being
they took the attack round onto Penthouse. Impressive that. But it is Penthouse, and we've talked about this. It's probably the least defensible site on this map. I think that's more a miscalculation on Team Liquid to go to that site in the first place. But apart from that, struggling in that last round especially. Something that's really striking is we have not only in Clash, but hey, look at that, the Capcan. It's an abnormal lineup here from Team Liquid, doing things a little bit different.
Sounds like Zig is still running that Supernova as well on the Echo, which is something that not a lot of teams do all that often.
You know why you do that? It's the destruction.
Right, but I mean, you've also got the Bailiff on Palu, very likely.
True.
You can also bring impacts on the Capcan if you want, but given the lineup that Liquid is bringing, I think it's smart to go with Capcan having the Nitro Cell because you don't have any C4 for Liquid.
I don't know. I get why they would give the shotgun to Zig, to be honest. If we're talking about stats again, Zig has not been having a fantastic season so far. Put him on full utility. Have him play the support roles.
Also, on Kitchen, if you've got a dock, you can use the dock in a way that you would typically use the Echo. Playing the longer range fights, have the Echo be as far removed from action as possible. Rely on those 2 Yokai drones, and if need be, have him take close range fights with the Supernova, very similar to the way that Smoke would. If you have Smoke sitting somewhere fortified in the middle of the site, just trying to hold down a close angle. Also, you've got the impacts on the Clash, so there's some destruction as well. First Logic Bomb off of WAG will try and paralyze Liquid, and Nesk will get capitalized upon. It's Kamikaze inside of Hookah up top. We'll start off the show. Takes 50 seconds for the very first kill to come out, and Nip has a lot of presence upstairs in the billiards, as well as the Hookah side of things. Gohan will be tasked with coming onto the second floor, as he's in a good flank position, providing there's nobody watching luggage, where Gohan will likely continue his path onwards.
Ninjas Pyjamas.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
With full control of Hookah. And they're just waiting.
I think this might be too much utility over towards the service door with the Yokai drone as well as the Clash, because it's not where Nip is going for the time being.
What a clean shot.
Two drones up top. Find Palu playing all the way over in theater, but depending on the way that the drone coverage went, they might have missed the Maestro. I highly doubt that. Trying to enable Palu will be the Echo of Zig below in Bathroom. So there you have it. The walls in Bathroom reinforced, allowing the Echo to play in a position where he's not going to be contested at long-range fights. That's going to get the most value out of that shotgun. Palu through that hole that was opened up. Not going to be able to do much, but he's got a long-range engagement all the way down to Hall of Fame. He'll take one down, looking for a second, as his phone will give his position away. Wog is there, shuts down Gohan. Palu, 2! One body prone, looks for another, cannot drag his crosshair down far enough, as Kamikaze will be there to take it, leaving both teams the number of members off the board. Liquid, though, in the deficit for the time being. A Clash and a Supernova-capable Echo are not great fragging operators to go up against Ninjas in Pyjamas. Wog will likely still have 2 smokes available as well, with Kamikaze and Julio able to hold up the site. Sexy Cake positioned by the doorway. He does have the SMG in hand. He's going to see 2. He's going to get hit with a smoke grenade. He's going to block both smoke grenades. He pulls out the pistol, throws out an impact grenade. It'll take a chunk of HP off of Wog. But here's where that Supernova could be so effective. Zig desperately trying to open things up. Wog has been downed. Zig takes out Kamikaze. Julio is there on the trade. But oh, Sexy Cake with the SMG. Turns around, holds off Julio. The Hibana trying to push on in. And Liquid will move to match point. The 2 anchors of Team Liquid being able to hold everything together.
Through and through a round that Ninjas in Pyjamas should have had. I mean, that was theirs through, without question. They tripped over their own utility. The smokes actually worked to the favor of Team Liquid, disrupting the lines of sight, the long angles that Ninjas in Pyjamas could have abused. I mean, we're talking about a Clash and a shotgun yoke, or a shotgun Echo.
A shotgun yokai would be pretty terrifying. If you think about it, I know that it was. I know that you didn't mean to say it.
That would be categorized as overpowered, Parker. Put a shotgun on a drone that's invisible when on the roof. Is that the sound we're making now?
That's how I feel about that.
Okay.
Why not give yokai a shotgun?
All right, time to not that.
I mean, let's be honest. The developers said that they were changing around Lion, and I don't want to break NDAs, but I'm not going to say that his floating drone over the map doesn't now come with Tomahawk cruise missiles.
Tomahawk cruise missiles and was it an A-10 minigun? Well, it was more like a mini cannon.
Michael, I said I wasn't going to break an NDA, and you just go ahead and do it. I can't believe it.
Every time he uses ability, it's just Bert.
Bert. You start to move, and what happens? Not only do you get outlined, but just there's hellfire missiles raining down upon you.
The beautiful thing about it is the missiles actually, as well, along with the cannon, they penetrate the non-penetrable walls.
Everything. They go through.
Yeah, the ceiling, the roof, everything. So.
I don't know how it's going to affect his ban rate when he comes back in. I think that teams might see some experimentation.
I think 25%, 30%, somewhere in that region. Not as good as his old ability, if we're being honest.
Certainly not.
You get to see the entire enemy team through the wall all the time.
All right,
just stand still, bro.
Match point for Team Liquid, and Gohan setting up a mirror strategy similar to what we saw at Ninjas in Pyjamas, which was on the wall of theater that looks towards 90. It's not going to give you the same coverage towards the luggage doorway, which is exactly what we saw from Nip. Now, the way that this works is that you can actually pop that mirror window and have somebody with an ACOG play essentially a reinforced peek hole around you. That's exactly what Nip was doing with Julio. I don't know if Liquid is going to try and do the exact same strategy, but here's the bigger issue. Pino's down below. Unless you can see Pino get pushed early on, it's going to be very difficult for Liquid to hang on. The Clash, who was so instrumental in the previous round, will be the very first casualty for Team Liquid, as Julio will find Sexy Cake, who's not having a very good day, if we're being completely honest, despite the clutch to win his team the round previously.
I mean, Sexy has found himself kind of pushed into a support role for Team Liquid recently. He's been playing that a little bit different than what we expect of him. And I think it had to do with Gohan coming onto this roster, because Gohan is certainly a fragger, but Sexy just hasn't been showing up in that regard. When he first came onto this roster, that's exactly what Sexy was. Everyone hailed him as one of the best fraggers in Latin America. I mean, he was really putting up the numbers, but it's just not been the case recently. Playing on Clash, I mean, it's, not going to be an operator you're going to get a lot of kills on, but you really shouldn't be dying early on. So that's not necessarily a failing in terms of fragging potential, but a failing in terms of how you're playing your utility, and it's going to put Liquid in a dangerous position. Luckily for them, though, and by them I mean Liquid, they are already in at least a draw. So it's not the end of the world if they lose 3 rounds in a row, however unlikely that is. And this is only the beginning of that stretch, so not going to be a huge loss for Liquid in the long run. Lucifer by Cool Vibe Stairs going to eat a lot of damage in that fight. Phone call coming out. Going to give away his position by the Sunrise Bar. He's just doing his best to delay at this point. He knows his position is caught out, and all he can do is try to hold up his enemy. With 30 seconds left, though, that's all he really need to.
And interestingly enough, Ninjas in Pyjamas entered the day as the #1 team, so this is a big victory for Liquid here. Palu taking out Psycho. Phone still ringing away, trying to give the position of the Legion to the rest of the team, as Lucifer, as we will call him for this particular matchup, has been oh so good for his team. And the star power on Liquid is a big part of why they've looked so good, but Pino, not to be overdone or overshadowed, takes out 2 of his own. Finding both Zig and Gohan. There's Nesk, all in hand, he'll take 2 down. Wog is downing Lucifer, but Nesk, the clutch out of nowhere! Oh my! What is it with Coastline and this gun in particular? Liquid shuts the door on a round that Nip did look very good, poised to take back. Masterful performance inside of VIP. And he'll earn that title for his team, though Lucifer, Lucifer will get it.
Going into today, from 1st to 4th, we had Pino, statistically the best, Gohan the 2nd, Psycho the 3rd, and Nesk the 4th. But nobody clutches quite like Nesk.
No.
Proving himself one of the most valuable players in all of Latin America and the world, and not allowing Nip to get even remotely close to a draw. Well done there to end at 7-3.
Absolutely incredible. The way that he was able to put that all together. And Palu started things off with the very first kill for his team, and then you just unable to shake that Maestro from his position, almost as a mobile turret inside of VIP, holding down 3 separate angles. He killed 3 people through 3 separate angles, through the doorway into Hall of Fame, through the window, onto the balcony, and then turning around just outside of the 90 hallway.
How many angles was it, Parker?
3 angles. 3. That's incredible. Better angle than Kurt angle, I'll say that much. It's
What is
fine.
that?
I'll explain it to you in the break. Don't worry.
Okay.
I understand. I understand.
He never actually explains any of that stuff. He says he will, but he doesn't.
Never. It's funnier to keep you
In
trying
the dark?
to guess. Yeah, in the dark. But anywho, that's our second match in the day. We're going to go to another break, and then we'll be up next with Black Dragons versus INTZ Ints for our third match as Latin America Pro League rolls on.